Hey, what's up? This is Chris Gray, and you're listening to the ZiFM Sport Podcast.
Zimbabwe's finest radio, ZiFM Stereo.
It's Lionel Messi! He scored! The goal the world wanted!
It's time for the biggest sports stories.
It's Neymar trying to feed it through. It's a stretch, and it's in! And I can't remember the last time I saw something like this. Extraordinary scenes.
The biggest interviews.
It's more difficult. Obviously, it's more difficult.
And all the analysis right here.
If they play poorly, they come back, they've got all the excuses. You can't have it both ways.
Every weekday, it's my sport, it's your sport. It's ZiFM Sport. Let's join the team for the biggest show in the world of sport on ZiFM Stereo. My station, your station.
It's a very good evening. Welcome to ZiFM Sport, where we are proud to review a fantastic day it was for Zimbabwe and indeed the Warriors at a sun-kissed National Sports Stadium qualifying for the Africa Cup of Nations. Egypt, here we come, and it only makes sense that we do a Warriors special on today's show and then you dive into the beautiful game and have a look at what's happening in Europe. That's what you can look forward to, and the team delivering it are Mike Madoda, Chris Gray, Alois Bunjira, our producer Sean Tafirinika, and me, Barry Manandi. Just some tidbits of what you can look forward to. Warriors coach Sunday Mhofu Chidzambwa has saluted the fans for filling up the National Sports Stadium and rallying behind the Warriors, who sealed back-to-back AFCON qualification with a solid 2-0 win over Congo-Brazzaville. And in the beautiful game, we have a couple of updates from the international break, where Germany showed some signs of revival with a thrilling 3-2 win over the Netherlands last night in the Euro 2020 qualifiers.
The Warriors, the Chevrons, the Cheetahs, the Mighty Warriors, and the Sables. From the pool to the track to the field, we are Team Zimbabwe. The Home Front. Local sports news and analysis.
It is a rallying cry for the Warriors, and one or two times it reverberated around the National Sports Stadium as the Warriors were booking their way to AFCON qualification. We want to hear your thoughts, your views on what transpired at the National Sports Stadium. Get in touch with us on WhatsApp on 0731 168 045, 0731 168 045. That's the same number you can use to send in your ProFeeds hashtags, ProFeeds trivia, and we could call you for our daily competition. Now, after spurning two opportunities to seal a ticket to the Egypt finals with some games to spare, the Warriors finally completed the job at the last throw of the qualification dice during a period in which the country was plunged into mourning after hundreds of people perished due to the devastating effects of Cyclone Idai. The Warriors fittingly chose a perfect occasion to cheer the spirits of millions of Zimbabweans. Captain Knowledge Musona and Kama Billiot stole the show with two wonderful strikes as the Warriors qualified for the fourth Africa Cup of Nations following the 2-0 win over Congo-Brazzaville in a Group G qualifying match played at the National Sports Stadium. Sunday Chidzambwa, the Warriors gaffer, was understandably a happy man.
We were playing against a great side of Congo. Coming onto this game, in the first half, we realized that our opponent's strategy was to try and outpace us on the flanks. They used the high ball to the strikers, which they didn't do in Congo. I think we had to defend well, and fortunate enough, we scored the two chances that came our way, and as you saw, the first half ended up in a 2-0 situation. Second half, they created a problem for us, of which we nearly failed to rectify. They took one striker, put him up front. They had two strikers, and they were pumping that high ball. So on the bench with my technical team, we realized that some of our players were tired, and we decided to try and close shop and end up the game at that score. The other thing you have to realize is that sometimes in football, you have to play for a result, which we did. We played for a result. We played to qualify. We didn't play to entertain, and we qualified.
For long, Zimbabwe has been regarded as the nearly men of Africa, but at the National Sports Stadium yesterday afternoon, 60,000 fans thronged the stadium to cheer the Warriors as they booked their ticket to the Africa Cup of Nations finals. 2-0 did the business. Alois, your thoughts on the performance of the Warriors?
The performance was bad. The result was great. Obviously we wanted qualification, we qualified, but I was not entertained at all. It was a comfortable win in the end because we scored the 2 goals in the first half. It calmed our nerves. It was okay. So by the start of the second half, I was just having my drinks and just watching. I wasn't entertained, but I was comfortable because we were leading. That team never really bothered us. They didn't look like they were going to turn the tables around with 3 goals. So I was comfortable, but really, when we were leading 2-0, second half, at least get us entertained. Let's play.
So Chris, it was a great result, like Alois said, but hardly a classic performance.
Hardly a classic performance, but I don't think that was the point of the game. I think we talked about this on Friday, that at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is grind out a result. How we get the result is technically neither here nor there. What we wanted was qualification. That was the goal. If the goal was to then entertain along the way, then fine. But I think sometimes you have to play an ugly game of football to get a qualification. And in this scenario, we desperately wanted the qualification. But did you think,
Chris, though, that the opposition, once they had showed what they were capable of in the opening minutes of that game, let's say the first 30 minutes, I think everyone watching on was looking on and saying, this is a poor Congo side. Yeah. This is a side that we can take. This is a side that we can literally swat aside. Did we then tactically adjust to that to say, okay, these guys are here for the taking?
We didn't do that. And I think previously there was a game in the qualifying stages as well where we came, and in the first half we were absolutely brilliant, and come the second half we tried to entertain and it fell apart and we came to a draw. I can't remember which nation exactly.
Yeah, it was actually it was the same Congo as well.
Same Congo side. So I think coming into it again, the worry was, okay, we've done this before. We've come into the first half, we have a great first half, we think we figured them out, and coming into the second half we want to switch up the tactics, and that didn't work in our favor previously. So for me, keeping the tactics the same, absolutely fine.
Barry, what does this say about the mental side of the Warriors? We're talking about a Congo side, which I would say is from the second draw at best. It might even be from the third draw of African football. What does it say of the mental side of our Warriors? Because sometimes, we place too much emphasis on the coach and the tactics, but sometimes as players, you can show leadership, you can actually organize yourselves and do the business without needing to be pushed from the sidelines.
I actually believe that the first half was a reflection of the players' mentality. I believe that first half was delivered by the players, and then when they went in at the half, when they got the team talk from the coach, because we always say that the second half belongs to the coach. When they got the team talk from the coach is when they receded and went back into their shell. And the first half, I would say we threatened, not with fantastic swashbuckling play, but with smash and grab tactics, and I believe that was the leadership of the players just looking for the goals wherever they could get them. So to answer your question, I would say this Warriors side has the ability, let's put it that way. They went out, they tried to get the result, they got it, and then the coach said, hey, behave.
Yeah, absolutely, because the 2 goals that the Warriors scored, the first one off a set piece, fantastic curler from Kamabilit, and then the second one, the most opportunistic strike you'll ever get, but one of the finest volleys that you will see at the National Sports Stadium. Keep your messages coming in on 0731 168 045, 0731 168 045. Now, Alois, let's move on to the performance of the team, especially in the second half, because that's where there's a cause for concern. If you take a look at the pressure that we found ourselves under, some would say that had the Congo had a better striker, had they had their shooting boots on, because they created, I think, Barry, we counted as many as about 6 chances in the second half. Had they been sharper, this game could have been a lot different, because they created a lot more than would have wanted them to create in the second half.
Yeah, definitely, Mike. They were not as sharp as they were supposed to be, but their ball rotation was much better than us. You know, they knocked the ball around better. You know, when we're talking about entertainment, we're not talking about shibobo. We're not talking about being stylish. You know that we are talking about dominate the opponent. You see, they are down. Dominate. How you dominate? By rotating that ball around. You keep it, and we'll celebrate 10 passes. You find the fans are cheering. But what were we doing? We were actually getting it and giving it to them. We're getting it and giving it to them. So the passing game is also entertainment. It's not about dribbling and running with the ball and all that. So we didn't do that. The opponent was down and out. In the second half, we were now supposed to say 2-0 down, let's dominate them, let's just shut them out. But in fact, we gave them the chance to actually come back into the game.
Alois, you want to look at something that tells you that the coach, I believe, got his tactics wrong. Look at our fullbacks. How many times did you see Darikwa or Fumbidzai do an overlapping run and send a cross the entire game?
The entire game, not just the cross. Very, very good observation. Not just the crosses. How many times did you see them receiving a ball from the goalkeeper?
From the goalkeeper.
Not 0. Now that one is actually 0. I counted 0.
That's the second one. Because how many times they receive that? How many times does the centre halves break out wide and receive the ball from the goal kick?
I counted that
from the goalkeeper.
Well.
How many times did
0
play out from the back? 0. So this is a team that went out smash and grabbing. Yes, Chris, I completely agree with you. We got the result. We qualified great. But we've got to go on beyond this. And with that performance, we cannot replicate that performance against any other team.
We can't.
Is this where we are, guys? Where we need perhaps to be very realistic with ourselves, especially after past experiences at the Africa Cup of Nations, where we've been outclassed. We have shown that we've got a bit about us, capable of getting the odd victory here and there, but we have been well out of our depth. Is this a sign of where we are, where the celebration is qualification and thereafter anything that happens is the bonus?
No, Mike. This time around, we are not learning. We are going there we have to win. No doubt about it, we have the players. Look, we've got Kama Billiard. What did Kama Billiard do 2 years ago? He was second in Africa. And we have players that are at similar level to Kama in this country. We've got Knowledge, we've got Ovidi, we've got Chapiwa, and they play. We have a team that can actually go and compete. We're not learning anymore, but we want to go there and compete and play football. Play we can. Darikwa, outstanding player. Ronald Fumbidzai, I thought he was brilliant yesterday. He never put a foot wrong yesterday. But that kind of play, like we said, we can't go and play against top sides. Look at Egypt. They've got players that are fast. Salah. What we were doing, pushing everybody to the halfway line and say, George, kick it. What happens when they get it if they've got quick players like Mane, Senegal? That space, we're actually creating a space to our own disadvantage, because they will exploit that. We need to move as a team, but we were just kicking it, and twice I counted George Chigowa was actually kicking to the other goalkeeper. It went straight from George Chigowa to the other goalkeeper, just like handing over possession, just like that.
Okay, let's take a look at the player ratings here. Now, we've just borrowed from the Daily News, who did a player rating, and I want to find out if you are listening, whether you agree with this. If you don't, or if you do, send us a message on WhatsApp with your player ratings. George Chigova was given 6 out of 10. Tendai Darikwa, 5 out of 10. Ronald Fumbidzai, somewhat surprisingly, 5 out of 10. Teenage Hadebe, 6 out of 10. Alec Mudimu, 6 out of 10. Danny Piri, 7 out of 10. Marshall Munetsi, given an outstanding 9 out of 10. Evans Rusike, 5 out of 10. Tino Kadewere, 6 out of 10. Some might say that's a surprise even. Kama Billiard, 7. Knowledge Musona, 7. So we want to hear from you on WhatsApp, 0731 168 045. Twitter and Facebook at ZiFM Sport. Coming up, we give you a local sports news roundup where we've got rugby, handball and cricket, and then we continue with our Warriors special.
Hi, I'm Peter de Villiers, the national coach for Zimbabwe Rugby, and you are listening to ZiFM Sport.
Let's round it up with some cricket, handball, and we start with some rugby news where the Cheetahs blew a half-time lead against Georgia to once again finish as runners-up at the Kwese Sevens rugby tournament at Harare Sports Club yesterday. The Cheetahs fell 19-14 after failing to add any further points on the board in the second period. They had seemed on course to complete a clean sweep by local teams when they took a 14-7 lead at the break. There was some joy for the host nation as Lady Cheetahs thumped Zambia 31-zip in the women's final. Congratulations to the Lady Cheetahs. In handball news, Zimbabwe senior men's handball team failed to come to the party as they missed out on qualification for this year's Africa Games following a poor show at the just-ended qualifiers held in Lusaka, Zambia. Zimbabwe went down to South Africa 16-20 in their opener before losing to eventual event winners Zambia 27-19. Coach Farai Gwisai cited lack of adequate preparations as the main cause of their failure to qualify. We wrap it up with cricket news where the first-time call-up to the national team for Ainsley Mhofu has excited the Tuskers captain after he was named in Zimbabwe's training squad for the one-day internationals against United Arab Emirates at Harare Sports Club next month. Mhofu, a left-arm spinner, was in great form for the Tuskers in the just-ended domestic cricket season, particularly in the shorter formats of the game where he led the Bulawayo-based franchise.
Qualcomm, the home of great food, celebrates its 75th birthday. As a thank you to all our customers, we have amazing price cuts on all your favorite products. Enjoy unbelievably reduced prices on our frozen boerewors, breakfast and ready-to-eat sausages. Celebrate 75 years of wholesome and tasty goodness. Available at all leading retail stores and Qualcomm shops nationwide. Qualcomm, 75 years of greatness.
Tiles is celebrating its 25th anniversary and we are slashing prices by up to 20% on all our ceramic tiles, porcelain tiles and our laminate flooring. Yes, you heard right, 20%. Visit us at 5 Samora Machel Avenue and our state-of-the-art showroom and fully stocked warehouse at 80 Simon Mazoredze Road. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Don't miss out on this crazy offer. Hurry while stocks last.
Need mileage for your business? La Decima Print House is your all-in-one printing solution. Your one-stop shop litho printing for all your flyers, brochures, newsletters, church posters, company profiles, annual reports, all quick BizHub digital stationery printing, dissertations and general, photocopying services, HP large format printer for office signage branding, vehicle branding, and banners, DTG M6 industrial digital t-shirt and fabric printing, corporate gifts, and many more. La Decima Print House has packages that can be tailor-made to suit your business's unique printing needs. To place your order, call La Decima Print House on 0772 413 603 or 242 446 466 or visit us at Unit 9B, 75 Roberts Drive, Masasa, Harare. La Decima Print House. If you can think it, we can ink it.
Alcohol may be hazardous to health if consumed to excess. The operation of machinery or driving after the consumption of alcohol is not advisable. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18 years.
Castle Lager is more than just beer. It's pure liquid gold, crafted from the finest local ingredients to deliver a taste that is somewhat dry, somewhat bitter, but never sweet. It's the taste that stood the test of time. It all comes together with a castle.
I'm Sunday Chidzambwa, the Zimbabwe national team's head coach, and you are listening to ZiFM Sport.
I think it's a very important victory for the nation because it brings the nation together and everyone is happy. You can see the atmosphere here at National Sports. Everyone is very happy about the win.
We have been working really hard for this and we are happy that we achieved that.
But we're not going to play for a draw. You know, Coach Sunday instructed, nobody's going to come into our home and beat us here. Instructions were to win the game. It's very simple. Our team is more than capable of going far in the African Cup of Nations. We've got a strong team. And that's all I can say. Win the game, and we won the game very well.
An amazing feeling. It's something we worked really hard for. I think all of the supporters today, they helped us achieve our goal.
All right, we're still partying, we're still celebrating. Now, Warriors captain Knowledge Musona saluted his troops for a job well done after qualifying for the Africa Cup of Nations finals following a nearly flawless campaign that they wrapped up with a win over Congo-Brazzaville yesterday. Musona's scored his 5th goal of the qualification campaign as the Belgian-based star forward led his team outstandingly from the front in a campaign that started with a convincing 3-0 home win over Liberia. Let's hear from the captain, Knowledge Musona.
Yeah, it feels good, and I must give credit to the teammates because I wasn't playing alone. We had a very good campaign. We started very well and we finished very well. So, yeah, the credit go to the team and the coaches also. But overall, we had a good campaign.
All right, Bunj, we've talked about all the other players, talked about the team in general. The captain, your assessment?
Yeah, I think he was inspirational. You know, the guy didn't train the whole week, basically. He didn't. He was just saved for that match. And he brought what he was brought in for. We needed that inspiration, that goal. I think it sealed it. You know, he didn't play well, to be honest, according to what we know, but we know why. He was injured. Match fitness, probably he was not up there as well. So I give it to him for being brave enough to troop onto that field, knowing that he has got a groin injury. You know, that is one of the most terrible injuries a player can have, a groin, because you can't really treat it. You have to wait for it to just heal on its own, just take some tablets here and there. But he was brave because he could have aggravated it. I still believe he aggravated it. He is somebody who I'm sure he's still feeling the pain, but he went there knowing that he was needed, and boy did he deliver. That goal was one of the best I've seen. Opportunistic goal, a goal poacher. You know, take the opportunity, chest bang. Well done. Indeed. And get in touch with us. Let us know your thoughts. 0731 168 045 is our WhatsApp number. Let's go slower with that. 0731 168 045 is the number to use. Don't forget your hashtags, Profeeds Trivia, if you want to participate in our quiz, which comes up a bit later on in the show. But it's a good evening to Elton Pa JT Airbase, who will be our first message on our Fan Zone.
Fan Zone. Get in touch with the team and have your say your way.
Operator.
Elton says this: hi guys, from Zambezi River to the Nile River, we are heading to Egypt. Congrats to the lads. For the first time, the Warriors didn't disappoint when everyone hoping for them to deliver. They absolutely did.
You should write headlines.
Yeah, exactly. From the Nile River, exactly. You should be in newspapers and not by airbase. Power up. Guys, mapas angasingaite mu pitch yedu borarai bamba pitch yanga yakadakwa. That's Tinashe Majambe in
Congo still managed to stitch a few
on bad pitch. Yes, in that bad pitch, which they don't know, which we are supposed to know. So no, I disagree with that. I think the pitch was fine. Shumba from Mutare says congrats for our Warriors, but going forward we need a playmaker, not to play defensive link man. We won the individual performance. This is something you talked about during the match, Mike, which was the double defensive approach, the double defensive link man.
Too cautious.
Put in there.
Too cautious for a home game. Too cautious for the caliber of the opposition. We didn't need to play both Deco Piri and Marshall Manetsa. We should have chosen one, and we should have played with Ovidi Karuru right from the start. We saw what Ovidi brought in when he came onto the field. I mean, it's a pity that he just had about 10-15 minutes to show what he's capable of, but there was a lot more positivity, a lot more forward movement. He tried to link up with Kamabiliat up front, and so for this, listen, if we were playing Senegal, if we were playing Morocco, if we were playing Algeria or Egypt, you might understand tactics of that nature. But when you are playing Congo-Brazzaville, who I still insist are from the second or third draw, you need to be positive at home.
You certainly do. This one says Tino apana anunyanya kuzhida. This one says ratings are fair, but for Tino and Danny Piri, I do not agree. That's DJ Bongs in Harare. Victor says Warriors, great job, thank you Nezuro and inaugurara Nemufaro. Okay, I don't know why you didn't sleep Nemufaro.
Celebrating.
Celebrating. Let's go to Twitter, and we've got Ivan Nashe, who's got in touch says, I am grateful and proud of the Warriors. They displayed quite satisfying football. I pray Mr. Kamambo and company, they support the team by offering the team with adequate preparations. Congratulations. I hope we reach the knockout stages. So there's a lot of positivity regards AFCON qualification or participation in Egypt. But before we read a couple more messages, let's not also run away with the chaos that we saw at the gates yesterday. Yes. Despite the initially noble move to have pre-sale of tickets, which I think was brilliant, and the crowd that showed up. I mean, listen, I didn't think we'd have a crowd that big for this game, but Zimbabwe rocked up. But when Zimbabwe did rock up, Chris, they found it difficult to access the facility.
Yeah, we still have the same problem where we don't have enough access points open at the National Sports Stadium. I don't know if our people at ZiFM underestimate the size and the capacity and the number of people actually trying to stream in. I know they had a cutoff time. Everyone should be in by 1:30. I'm not sure if that was supposed to get people to the stadium earlier. But what you still need to have in place is that when I get to the stadium, it should not take me more than 20 minutes to get through the access system. There should be enough gates open such that wherever I park my car, I must just get up and walk and go straight into the system. It shouldn't take as long as it did for a number of people. And you had children there as well. Yeah. That was one of my worries, was you have a system where you haven't opened up enough gates. This is a family game. This is a national game, and you're putting people at risk. Yeah, absolutely. And Alois, for a life to be lost at the National Sports Stadium, it's tragic.
Yeah, it was really tragic and something that could have been avoided, you know, if you ask me. But Zimbabweans also need to really look at themselves, the fans. That is, you know, that it was around 2:30. They were very impatient, I should say, and they said that if you don't have a ticket, don't come to the stadium. You see, that kind of behavior. The tickets were sold, I think, about 20-something thousand, but the stadium was almost 60,000. So how did these people without tickets come to the stadium? Why did they come to the stadium when they didn't have? They had the intention. I don't know what the intention was.
Where did you get the figure of 20,000?
I had before the match, during the day of the match.
Apparently there was a huge splurge of purchases on the Friday. On Friday and Saturday, because if you tried to purchase a ticket on Sunday, like we did try and purchase Sunday additional morning, tickets, they were now sold out.
The match was sold out.
I think we still have to hear the official figure.
On their official system, where they put out an ad on Saturday evening, say that don't worry, tomorrow you can still buy tickets, including the online tickets.
Yes, I know. Yes.
On Sunday morning, we wanted to buy a ticket for our mate. The tickets on their online platform were sold out.
Okay, that's
for them to put that out now. If you've got a sold-out system, you must have the match management team then sit down and say, guys, we've got a sold-out venue. We need to plan for this. That's because there's somebody watching the system. If you've got a team that's fit for purpose, you've got to have a team that's watching that system all the time. Knowing exactly how many people you're expecting to receive. Yes. Because there's disaster prevention, and then also there's crowd management. Where
the crowd management was the most important.
Now, if you've got people who've got tickets, and I think it's a little bit unfair to say that people were impatient. If you arrive at the gates at 1 o'clock and expect that, they said they're going to close the gates at 1:30, and you still haven't got in by 2:30, you're bound to get impatient, Bunch. And as a result, yes, I've got my ticket. I want to get into the stadium. No football fan wants to stand around looking at thin air when they know they want to get into the stadium. And that's when the rush started.
And I think what the problem is that I think they must be commended for the pre-sale of tickets. I think that was
brilliant.
That was a good
idea.
Great. But they did not do any stress testing as to how is it going to happen afterwards. Okay, how fast does the process work? Because to be honest, we got there with ample time, but I think it took us people who got there at 12:30. We're getting into the stadium at 2 o'clock.
It was very slow. When you are holding your ticket, you are supposed to just walk in. You are supposed to
the majority of the people who actually forced their way into the stadium were not people without tickets.
Yes.
They were people who were holding tickets, but we're saying, you know what, we've got tickets, but we're failing to get into the stadium. So we are going to force our way in. So that is where the problem really lies.
I also think that the problem is they let everybody close to the stadium right there with their tickets. They are supposed to vet people maybe 500 meters away. Maybe National Stadium is actually tailor-made for this because we've got
there's plenty of space.
We've got a juror. There's plenty of space. They're supposed to vet people from there. People are supposed to be vetted when they walk to the main gate. It's supposed to just be open. People walk in, you just show your ticket, walk in, let's go. But now the system was more like we were paying. Again, when I'm already have my ticket, they still have to take that ticket from me, look at the ticket.
That's the stress testing that Mike is talking about.
Yes, then
you do.
It was almost like we are paying, basically.
Mike, last point, 30 seconds. The Tottenham Hotspur has failed to open their brand new swanky stadium for the past 8 weeks on the basis that the stress tests that they've been running haven't passed.
Exactly.
And that's a modern stadium, okay? We didn't do any stress testing.
Why don't they open
we didn't
all
even practice this.
Why don't they open all the gates? All of them.
And to lose a life is unreasonable.
Zimbabwe's finest breed. ZiFM Stereo.
Around the world in 60 seconds. International sports news.
We take off in Pretoria, where Blue Bulls coach Pothuman was left puzzled by his team's performance after a 56-20 home loss to the Chiefs on Saturday. The Bulls had come off a bye week and had notched impressive wins over the Stormers, Lions and Sharks to start the season, but were totally outclassed in their first match against New Zealand opposition. The rest of the Super Rugby results: the Reds with a 36-14 win over the Brumbies, the Rebels going down against the Sharks 28-14, the Sunwolves going down against the Lions 37-24, the Waratahs won against the Crusaders 20-12, and Hurricanes 34-28 against the Stormers. The Highlanders losing to the Blues 33-26. Over to Sharjah, where Aaron Finch hit a career best ODI cricket of 155, his second straight 100 in the series, to see Australia to an 8-wicket win over Pakistan in the second ODI in Sharjah. The game was very reminiscent of the series opener played out at the same venue on Friday. Australia successfully chased down 281 on that occasion to win by 8 wickets, while 285 was the target yesterday. Over to Florida, touching down where Britain's Paul Casey won his second consecutive Valspar Championship yesterday, holding off South Africa's Louis Oosthuizen and Americans Jason Kokrak for a one-stroke US PGA Tour victory. The 41-year-old Englishman stumbled with a bogey at the par 3 17th hole, but 2 putted from the 22 feet at 18 to become the first back-to-back winner of the event. Casey had never before defended a professional title, and he won for only the second time in 6 tries with a 54-hole US PGA lead by firing a final round 1 over par 72 to finish 72 holes on 8 under 276.
ZiFM Stereo is untouchable.
Well, you take a tap in these circumstances.
The Daily Sports Trivia question is brought to you by Profeeds. Profeeds, your feed and farm professionals.
If you ask me questions that meander, I answer with meander. You don't have to meander. You ask straight questions and you answer them straight, and you could be our daily winner and in with a chance of being our monthly winner, because we're holding our draw on Friday the 29th of March. That's this Friday. And up for grabs is a 4-plate Capri gas stove and oven. All you simply have to do, send through those hashtags on our WhatsApp number, hashtag ProFeedsTrivia, and you could be the one, just like the one we've got today, Mikey.
Well, the one we got today is Tinashe Albert Shava. Tinashe, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm good, and you?
Excellent. Where you at?
I'm in Eastleigh.
You are in Eastleigh? But duze jaiba. Zuri kufambele bang?
Zuri kufaya baba.
Team za unomanya nedzipi?
Right, muno mzimbabwe ndomanya neBhoso.
neBhoso, yiBhoso.
Yebo takatanga chira pana 16 baba.
I love that. Then ko kuchando.
Chando andina mu England, but ndinayo ku Spain, Barcelona.
Uri munhu wangu chaye. Do you follow any other sport apart from soccer?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a sports fanatic. I follow rugby, cricket, and also I'm a handball player.
Well, let's get into the questions. You should be very good at this, because it looks like you're quite the sports fan. Are you ready for your question? You have one local and then the other one international.
Yeah, okay, bring it on.
Okay, bring it on. We're going to bring it on. Question 1. When did Zimbabwe first qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations? When did Zimbabwe first qualify for the first Africa Cup of Nations? Is it 2004, 2006 or 2008?
2004.
Yes, well done, well in. Okay, your second question. This one should be easy if you follow rugby. The Super Rugby side, the Blue Bulls, plays out of which South African city?
Pretoria.
Well
Tinashe. I like your work, brother. I like your work. Very confident. Good to go.
Come to Manchester United, man, in England. You don't have a team, right?
No. I don't support Man United.
Yeah, but you don't have any team. I'm inviting you.
But
okay, I'm a Pep fan. Okay, so at this moment I'm moving.
Man City.
Yes.
Love it. Well, congratulations to you. You're going to be in the draw on Friday. You could win yourself that fantastic prize, which is a 4-plate Capri gas stove and oven courtesy of Profeeds.
And we'll be holding our...
Sorry.
Really, Mike?
Did he just cut your mic off?
He really did. He really did.
Don't want to hear from you, Chris.
You're going to have people miss this amazing event. So it's the Profeeds Arlington International from the 12th to the 14th of April 2019. And it's the premier event in the equine eventing calendar with 6 countries competing, and that includes Zambia, South Africa, Kenya, Swaziland, Namibia, and of course us, the host. And we're expecting between 130 to 150 competitors in the various categories.
Absolutely, everyone is welcome to enjoy 3 days of high-octane entertainment with lots of thrills and hopefully no spills on offer. Bring your umbrellas, your deck chairs, and come and enjoy what is on offer from Africa's finest equine athletes. Let's not discuss who the athletes are. Entry will be $5 RTGS dollars ahead each day, and a full bar and catering will be available. I don't even have to talk about catering with Alois. It's just full bar, and he's a happy man.
Well, you take a tap in these circumstances.
The daily sports trivia question was brought to you by Profeeds. Profeeds, the performance feed.
In every home they're singing Spotless, the brand that keeps your home pristine. Whether stubborn stains or greasy plates, Spotless will surely clean everything. Oh, Spotless.
Enhanced formula, dishwashing liquid, thick bleach, washing powder, scouring powder, and all-purpose cleaner. Spotless works all the time.
This is ZiFM Stereo. The big leagues, the big teams, the big players. The beautiful game on ZiFM Sport. The beating drum. The roaring fans. Take a ride on the wild side with the Africa Report on ZiFM Sport.
Let's start with a wrap of the AFCON 2019 qualifiers by taking a look at who's who in the zoo come Egypt 2019. Out of Group A, you have the Lions of Teranga, Senegal, as well as surprise packages, Madagascar. Group B sees Morocco, the Atlas Lions, together with the indomitable Lions, a pairing of lions there to head to Egypt. Group C has got Mali and Burundi. Well done, Burundi. Group D has got Algeria and Benin. Group E, Nigeria and Bafana, who played so splendidly last night versus Libya. Group F has got Ghana and Kenya. Group G sees Zimbabwe, the Warriors, as well as the Democratic Republic of Congo. Group H has got Guinea, as well as the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. Group I has got Angola and Mauritania, another of the surprise packages. Group J, Tunisia, the Carthage Eagles, together with the Pharaohs of Egypt. Group K has got Guinea-Bissau and Namibia. And Group L has got Uganda and Tanzania. And guys, it's interesting to see that you've got, of course, as a result of this expanded tournament, Alois, opportunities coming to even nations like Namibia and Mauritania, nations who perhaps would not have got this opportunity or this chance had it remained strictly a 16-team tournament.
Yeah, it's actually quite good, so that this football spreads in Africa, so I'm happy that is happening, Zimbabwe as well. Now we're qualifying for 2 consecutive tournaments. You know, it's quite mouth-watering, and it's quite good to actually see our name amongst that list. You know, I was looking at that list, Mike. All the African powerhouses this time around, no one was surprisingly knocked out. They
one was
are
left.
all going to be in Egypt.
Apart from Zambia.
No, not really that powerhouse that we used to.
Former champions.
Yeah, but when you look at their performances in recent years, they've a young team. Those boys from the under-20s and all that, they are still rebuilding, if you ask me. But the real powerhouses of African football, they are going to be in Egypt, and it's going to be one tight competition this time around.
Yeah, let's talk about Zambia, Barry. They would have been disappointed by this, because I know Aloy says they're rebuilding, but in an expanded format of this nature, they would have at least fancied their chances to be there.
They would have.
Yeah, to be there, yes.
They would have, because I think even when they heard about the changes that were taking place, when they heard that there were 2 groups from each, there were 2 teams from each group, they thought to themselves, we can definitely make a showing here and at least get to the tournament, and then possibly show that we're rebuilding. But for them not to be there, they are certainly disappointed.
Well, listen up, take out your notebooks and pens, because I'm just going to quickly run through the pots for the draw when it is done. Pot 1 will have Egypt, Ghana, Tunisia, Ivory Coast, Cameroon and Senegal. Pot 2 have Morocco, Nigeria, the DRC, Algeria, Mali and Guinea. Pot 3 has got Zimbabwe, Uganda, Bafana, Guinea-Bissau, Angola and Burundi. Pot 4 has got Mauritania, Namibia, Benin, Kenya, Madagascar as well as Tanzania. Chris, it means that Zimbabwe is likely to be in a group with at least 2 of those heavyweights that Alois has been talking about.
Absolutely, and judging by yesterday's performance, we're going to be in for a treat to see exactly where our boys stand in comparison to the rest of Africa.
Horsepower unmatched. Torque to beat the best. Speed unrivaled. Sleek and easy on the eye. Let's get behind the wheel of football engineered to perfection. The Bundesliga, made in Germany.
Zaka international break news it's much easier to go through that, but there was football, of course, further afield. The international Euro 2020 qualifiers are underway. Let's run you through the results and then talk about the big game that took place last night. England 5-0 over Czech Republic, Portugal drawing 0 with the Ukraine, Turkey 2-0 over Albania, France 4-1 over Moldova, 2-1 win for Sweden over Romania, Spain 2-1 over Norway, Italy 2-0 over Finland, Wales 1-0 over Slovakia, and the Netherlands and Germany playing out a 5-goal thriller. Germany prevailing in the last minute virtually with a 3-2 win over the Netherlands. And is this a revival in your view, or is this just a good game of football, Mikey?
I think a revival will be tested by time. You know, you can't just go with one game and say that they beat the Dutch. The Dutch themselves, though they have done well, they're also rebuilding. They haven't completed their rebuilding process. They've got a very young team. Yes, it's an exciting team, but it's an inexperienced team. I think the revival that we can ascribe to Germany will be tested when they play your Spains, when they play your
and the Euros,
when they play your Frances of this world and beat teams of that regularly and consistently. Then we can start talking about a revival.
Yeah, if Yogi Love keeps getting results like this, he won't be have the vitriol poured at him for dropping such class players as last week.
I don't like him.
Paolo Rossi, Marco van Basten, George Weah, Gabriel Batistuta, Alessandro Del Piero. Serie A has been home to some of the world's finest strikers. And now they welcome arguably the greatest of them all, Cristiano Ronaldo, the best of Italian football on Z.
Your key Euro 2020 qualifying matches tonight. France takes on Iceland, Montenegro versus England, and Portugal will play against Serbia. Now, your notable international results from the weekend: Peru 1-0 over Paraguay, Mexico with a 3-1 win over Chile, and Venezuela with a 3-1 win over Argentina, and also Brazil 1-1 against Panama.
Indeed. Very interesting result, that one. Not enough time to talk about it, though, lads, because we've got to go. We'll catch you tomorrow, 6:05. Go Warriors, go. Yeah, they're going to Egypt. May God richly bless you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Manandi, out.
Be sure to catch ZiFM Sport every weekday on ZiFM Stereo. My station, your station.